Now let's see a very common confusion many learners face when using string concatenation or comma inside a print function. Many a times we would like to print some value along with some text or description so that it is much easier to understand the output. And we can do this by using two ways. The first one is by using string concatenation and the second way is by using comma separation. Let's see this code snippet to understand how this is done. Here we have two variables age comma name with values 25 and Sachin. And if you see this particular print statement, what we have here is a string concatenation. We are concatenating this string name is space with name which has this value Sachin. So we are basically concatenating these two strings. And what happens when we try to concatenate? It will join these two strings and it will create one single string name is Sachin. So this whole expression evaluates to a single string name is Sachin, which print function takes and displays on the output console. And the second way we can achieve this kind of output is by using comma separation method. If you see this print statement, here we are passing two arguments. The first argument is this string name is, and the second argument is name, variable name, which has this value Sachin. So what will print function do when we pass multiple arguments? It will print both these values with a space separation. So it will print name is and then it will put a space in between, and this variable name has this value Sachin and it will print this value Sachin here. And here this whole thing is not one single string. What print function is simply doing is it is printing both these values with a space separation. But the output kind of looks like it is a single string, but it is actually not. But if you take the previous case, when you do string concatenation, what we will get is one single string name is Sachin. I hope you understood the difference between both the cases. So we can use both these methods to print some value along with a text or description. I have added that example here. Let me run this program. Right click, run. And as you can see in both these methods, we get this kind of a output name is Sachin, name is Sachin. And one difference you have to note here is when we give multiple values with comma, so this will print both these values with a space separation automatically, right? So it will automatically provide a space. But if you take this string concatenation method, concatenation simply means joining two strings. So if you don't put a space here, what happens? Let's run the program and see. So as you can see, it simply concatenates name is and Sachin. So it will not create a space automatically. So in such case, we might want to put an extra space here so that the output is properly formatted. Now if you try to run this, right click, run. Now as you can see, there is a space in between. Now in the same way, what if we want to print the value of age along with a description message like age is 25. So if you try to use the string concatenation method by using age is space plus age, what happens here is we'll get a type error. In the above example, we're concatenating a string with another string, isn't it? But here we're trying to concatenate a string with an integer, which is not allowed. Let's execute the program and verify what happens if we do this. Right click, run. As you can see, we got a type error and it says can only concatenate str to str, which means we can concatenate only a string to a string. But here we're trying to concatenate an integer to a string, which is not allowed. That's why we will get type error. But we will not face any issue with this comma separation method because we are not doing any string concatenation here. We are simply passing two arguments to the print function, and print function will print both these argument values with a space separation between them. So first it will print the first argument, which is this string age is, puts a space in between, and the second argument is age, which has this integer value 25. So print function will first convert this integer to string and then it will display it on the output console. So this will work perfectly fine even if this age is not a string. But we can't concatenate a non-string value like an integer to a string directly. And there is also an alternative way. What we can do is whenever we want to concatenate a non-string value like an integer to a string, we can first convert this integer to a string by using a function called strOf. And what will this strOf age will do? It will take this integer 25 and it will convert it to a string 25. And now you can successfully concatenate both of them, as both of them are strings now, and you will get one single string age is 25. So always remember, when you want to concatenate a non-string value like an integer or float with a string, first you have to convert that value to a string by using str function. Now let's verify these two statements as well. So here in the previous statement, we are trying to concatenate a string with an integer, which will give us type error. So this is not allowed. So let me comment it out, or else we'll get an error. Instead, we can use this comma method where we can specify the string age is comma the variable age. Or else we can also do a string concatenation by converting this age, which is an integer, to a string by using str function. So let me run this program now. Right click, run. And as you can see, it prints age is 25. It automatically adds a space in between here. And in the next statement, we are trying to concatenate age is with another string 25. And concatenation will not automatically add a space, right? So you have to specify the space explicitly. Now if you try to run this again, now you can see the output is properly formatted. So always remember, when we want to print non-string values like integers or floats along with description message, we need to convert that value to a string and then we can concatenate, or else we can use this comma separation method. That's all for this tutorial, and I'll see you soon in the next video.